In this module, we'll discuss the different device classifications. We'll also go over the importance of proper device classification before moving on to how devices are classified and grouped. Before marketing your medical device in Japan, you must first determine its classification. This can be a confusing task, so let's take a closer look. Medical device classes are determined by referencing Japan Pharmaceutical and Medical Device Law, PMDL, and most importantly, Japanese Medical Device Nomenclature, the JMDN. A JMDN code must be determined before starting the rest of your application. The JMDN is a database similar to the FDA's list of registered medical devices. Each device type has a code and an associated classification. If a JMDN code is not available, device classification is determined by risk to the human body according to the classification rules outlined in the PMDL. These rules are similar to ones used in determining device classification in the EU. Mistakes made here can be costly and are usually attributed to misinterpretation. It goes without saying that having an experienced professional who is fluent in Japanese is essential in this phase of the process. This Japanese product group chart shows the JMDN codes that fall into each product group. For our non-Japanese reading viewers, this is a group, and these are the devices and associated codes which belong to that group. Just as they are in many other markets of the world, medical devices in Japan are classified based on the level of risk the device presents to the patient or the user. This is determined by examining different criteria, such as the duration of contact with the body, degree of invasiveness, and local versus systemic effect. This risk-based system results in a classification. Japan recognizes 5 device classifications. Class 1 for general medical devices, 2 branches of Class 2 devices, one for specified controlled devices and the other for controlled devices, Class 3 for specified highly controlled devices, and Class 4 also for highly controlled devices. The higher the risk, the higher the device classification. The higher the classification, the more stringent the regulatory requirements. Class 1 devices represent the lowest level of risk as they are not complicated to operate, nor do they pose great risks. Class 2 devices pose relatively low risk to a human body. Class 2 control devices represent a higher amount of risk than Class 2 specified control devices. Highly controlled medical devices, Class 3 and 4, are those deemed by the MHLW to have a relatively high or potentially fatal risk in the event of malfunction or side effects. Class 4 are the highest risk devices. In this module, we covered how Japan determines medical device classification using the JMDN for existing device types and the rules established by the PMDL for other devices. We also took a look at examples of the different device classifications. Next, we'll take a look at the primary parties involved in the registration process.